Hello. So I get asked quite often um, where I've been, and that shows me that a lot of social media doesn't. They follow you, but they don't follow you. If you get me, because I have posted what's what my journey has been. So for those of you who have asked, I in August 15th, 2022, I suffered a hemorrhagic stroke. What is a hemorrhagic stroke? Actually, I suffered a hemorrhagic stroke and aneurysm. So, roughly, a hemorrhagic stroke is a severe brain bleed between the sublevels where your brain and your skull are. So, that little part between that separates it. Um, if you want to know the whole definition, please educate yourself. Use Google. Use Google or dictionary. Medical journals have information, and you can access stuff online. You guys know that I always encourage you to learn, think for yourself, and question everything. So, nothing I'm saying is a substitute for medical advice, but it is an encouragement for you to learn about things that could possibly affect you. So, another thing that I get is, oh, you're so young to have a stroke. Okay, first of all, I'm a lot younger, a lot older than I look, a whole lot. But I'm black and I never drink or do drugs, didn't smoke. um, so, uh, but a hemorrhagic stroke can affect anyone. It can affect a baby in utero. Literally, your baby can suffer a hemorrhagic stroke in your belly. Any age, any fitness level. So, for those of you who are like, oh, drink alkaline water, first of all, I do drink alkaline water, but that's not going to stop you from having a hemorrhagic stroke. It's literally just kind of a fluke. There are things that can contribute to them, such as stress. I have lived a very high stress life since childhood. Horrible stress, guys. Horrible stressors around me. Um, yeah. So that can contribute to it. Quite a few environmental things or activities. So, like a brain injury, like a trauma to your head. Um, so there's a lot, but is not age exclusive, and no type of stroke is age exclusive. We just mostly hear about elderly having strokes, but there are a lot of people, teenagers, children, um, athletes, actors with access to good health care. So that is one thing I want you guys to know. It doesn't have anything to do with your age. Um, you know, there are contributing factors, but any age can have it. Let me see if I have time for one more thing that I get asked a lot. Oh, again, I'm going to keep saying this. For the people who say, you look like your stroke, you're doing good. I'm so glad to see you're doing good. It must not have been that bad. First of all, the reason it might not look that bad to you guys is because I didn't have somebody putting a camera in my face without consent. I didn't have support. I did not have family there. I did not have my children, my siblings, my mother, my father. I was literally by myself. So when I couldn't walk and couldn't talk, and couldn't use my hands, it was just me and the medical staff that was paid to take care of me. So that's part of it. So as far as how it looks, that is a very minimizing um, phrase because it was literally for me. I know if you look it up, it'll say it's like a horrible headache. It wasn't like a headache for me. And the reason being is I actually suffered a hemorrhagic stroke, which I just found out last week after, listen, healthcare in America for Black women and our unborn babies is horrible. We die higher than any other race, and our babies die or are injured traumatically more than any other race, actually globally. But the US is a progressive world leader and it shouldn't be happening, but it is. So please educate yourself on that as well so you understand and advocate. Be loud, be ignorant if you gotta be. Don't let them people do to y'all what they have done to me. The findings for the cause of my hemorrhagic stroke is medical, prescribing error and medical malpractice, incompetence, whatever. So back to it doesn't look like. So I suffered my stroke again August 15th, 2022. I spent all of 2023 rehabilitating. So rehabilitation hospital, rehabilitation care at home, rehabilitation outpatient, and I should still be, I still do rehabilitation. And then there's some other things that I need to do rehabilitation in. But again, I'm a mom, and I have to go to the doctor almost every day. It got to be too overwhelming for me, so I have to prioritize. So I haven't been doing my occupational therapy. To be honest, I have to do everything, so I'm doing it. And then there's some other type of therapies maybe that I will enter into. I'll be going to school this year, back to school. And my goal is to become an attorney and spend the rest of my life advocating for many people, but specifically women of color in healthcare, access to quality healthcare, and being a voice for them when they don't receive those things. So that's what I want to do, and I will have disability services because I do have some memory issues, cognitive issues, obviously light sensitivity. If you notice that I'm using a ring light, but I'm very sensitive to artificial light. It can trigger headaches, and can kind of make me disoriented. So I'm a big orderer. I don't like going into somewhere like Walmart. It can be overwhelming. So, back to the you don't look. I spent a long time and I'm still recovering. And so I want you guys to know, please don't say that to someone. Ask us how we feel. I'm going to keep making videos about this and speaking on this. Ask, don't say, well, you look good. Ask, how do you feel? Are you feeling better? These things can be encouraging and supportive. Don't go, oh, you look like you didn't, because y'all wasn't there and nobody was there seeing me in a wheelchair, seeing me not being able to go to the bathroom, not being able to eat, having to learn to walk, falling down. Like y'all ain't see that. And the journey was hard. It still is hard for me. So this is just I don't want to say it's going to be a series, but I'll hop on sometimes and share information about hemorrhagic stroke. It has less than a 11% survival rate. Most people die. And so as I was saying, most people die. And I suffer hemorrhagic stroke on both sides of my brain. It actually started at the base, is what I learned last week, where your base meets your brain, your spine meets your brain, and it affected both sides, which explains a lot. If I had to tell you how much I had to go through to just get my access to my records, for me to be over a year later, almost 2 years, and just having access to my hospital records. I was in the hospital, just a regular, the NICU, not NICU, but the neuro ICU for a month, and then moved to a rehabilitation hospital. So it has a very low survival rate. There's not a lot of research about hemorrhagic strokes. And that's because most people die. So I was so excited when I made it to my 6 months. Even less people make it to a year. I was so thankful to God when I made it to a year. And on August 15th, it'll be 2 years for me. Very few people live to 3 years, and most hemorrhagic stroke survivors are dead within 5 years. So I put it in God's hands. I'll probably make another video about how it felt, what the experience was. I think I'm finally at a place to do that. It was so traumatic to me, and basically like dying. And I'll probably talk about that if God leads me to do that. Maybe I'll do it on my podcast, Plus One with Minxy. You guys can follow my podcast on any major platform, so Apple, Amazon, Spotify. You can listen to it there. I have some cool podcasts up. I have one on, my most recent is What is Rape? And so it's a one-on-one, it's plus one. Just my thoughts on that as a survivor and as a woman and as a human being. So give it a listen while you're cleaning or driving. I would appreciate it. But yeah, so it has a very low survival rate and not a lot of research. And America does not lead in stroke research. So my goal is one day, or not my goal, but one of my wishes is to maybe get enough money to where I can go and get a second opinion. India actually leads. So I would love to be able to go there one day and see one of the leading neurologists and researchers in hemorrhagic stroke, and it's in India. There are also some amazing doctors in South Korea as well. So either or, because the care I've gotten here has been disgusting. So how do I feel about knowing I could die? Well, I have a clotting disorder that they can't identify. So I've always been in that position, and a heart condition and heart valve disorder. Again, guys, all of this was literally caused by doctors. It's so insane. But I will talk about that a little more. I'm not afraid of being dead. I'm not afraid of dying. I am afraid of a hemorrhagic stroke. It was horrible. It was the only pain they compare it to is being burned or tortured. It is the most painful thing that the human body can do to itself naturally. So unless someone's been burned or tortured, they wouldn't be able to relate to the amount of pain. And it went on for almost a month. And then the pain got to where I could tolerate it. So it was, I'm traumatized. So I'm not afraid of dying, but it's how I might die. And that's scary. But thank you guys for listening. And, please read up on it. Love you guys.